because this Galamsey issue is really irking me. Now, so on ChannelOneNews.com, we have here, intensify campaign against Galamsey. The intensified campaign against Galamsey, Ken Ashigbe tells journalists. Now, UTAG declares indefinite strike, demands ban on mining in forest reserves. Later on, we're going to bring you some of the various statements that have been made and so on and so forth. We have election 2024. We trust the competence of Ghana's EC. Good luck, Jonathan speaking there. Again, on Galamsey, Bawumia and Mahama must sign pact to push Akufo-Addo's new promises. Ken Ashigbe again speaking there. And government's efforts against Galamsey, more rhetoric than action. Yeah, and I agree wholly with that statement. Akufo-Addo deploys more troops and naval boats to fight illegal mining. Okay. Now, a lot of these things, you know, one of the things that for me is very key to take note of is that if you say that you are, let's say for example, you are in school, right, and you have to write exams and prepare for exams. Is the results of the examination that's the proof of your study, that you claimed you were studying, when at night you were not sleeping, and we said, get off your phone, and you said, oh, I'm not on my phone, I'm studying, I'm on Google, I'm doing research. It's the results of the exams that will show that what you claimed you were doing is actually what it is. So for us, the end of the day, it doesn't really matter all the various things that we are being told is being done. Fair enough. If they are being done, fantastic. But guess what? In a few short months, the results should start reflecting in the water bodies, you know, improving. And if the water bodies are not improving, guess what? Nothing has been done. And in fact, right now, things are going from bad to worse. Okay, except in some pockets of areas where people are saying that they will not allow Galamsey in their neighborhoods. For example, in Jema in Western North. Kudos to the chief and the people of Jema in Western North. I want to read that, go into that story there. Intensify campaign against Galamsey. Ken Ashigbe speaking. He's talking to journalists. And so let me just take you into that story there. Engineer Dr. Ken Ashigbe, convener of the Media Coalition Against Galamsey, has called on Ghanaian journalists and media houses to escalate their campaign against illegal mining, also known as Galamsey. Now, he cautioned journalists to remain vigilant and not divert from the fight, emphasizing the devastating impact of Galamsey on water bodies and forests. Dr. Ashigbe's call to action follows the suspension of organized labor's nationwide strike against Galamsey, initially scheduled for Thursday, October 10th, citing government plans to curb the menace. Now, the government has instructed the Minister of Defense to deploy additional troops to bolster Operation Halt, aimed at curbing Galamsey. Now, in an interview with Bernard Avle on Channel One TV's The Point of View, engineer Dr. Ashigbe stressed that journalists shouldn't lose the momentum in holding the government accountable to deliver on its latest commitments to combat Galamsey, emphasizing the need for sustained focus and scrutiny. And the story goes on there. Right, so the fight is on. We are not backing down, staying as focused as ever. And this is what we are here to do. Now, I want to take us into the various papers this morning. And joining me to get into the papers this morning is Apioko, who is head of programs production here at Channel One TV, as well as 97.3 City FM. Happy good morning.
Good morning, David.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
You're doing all right this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because organized labor are not
I mean,
we're standing
you mean
against
disorganized
this thing.
labor, according to Rashford Jampo's disorganized labor.
To Rough Jampo.
Yeah.
I mean, that or not, we're going all out.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
We can't sleep on it.
But I'm disappointed.
Why are you disappointed?
I thought more of the leadership of organized labor than what we are seeing. That's why I'm disappointed. It's like expectations not met.
So, a lot of people are saying that they're disappointed. But my thing is this. Don't put your hope and your trust in groups of people.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to, the peace and the sanity of the nation. We put our trust in our leaders. Have we not been disappointed over and over again?
Yeah.
Even the people we voted for.
For sure.
The people who owe us.
For sure.
Even they, day in, day out, they disappoint us. So I don't think we should be disappointed. I think that it should just rather encourage each of us to continue fighting the way that we're fighting. Yeah. I mean, it would have been great. It would have been a very powerful statement. And we've been talking about it for weeks.
Yeah.
We've been looking forward to 10th October for a reason. But I don't think we should be disappointed.
Well, I also want to say kudos to Prof. Jampo and his team at UTAG and to the entire UTAG fraternity. Thank you for taking a stand. I saw the stats yesterday, 77+% of UTAG voted in favor of going on strike.
Absolutely.
So kudos to them. And all other unions, organizations, and everybody else that's standing up with the cojones to say we will fight this galamsey.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway, let's see what it is.
But those are the big stories.
Yeah, those are the big stories.
The Daily Graphic here has, of course, what we're talking about. Organized labor rescinds galamsey strike. Government acts on concerns. And just to read a little bit, there's a picture of Mr. Joshua Ansah there. He's the Secretary General of the Trades Union Congress. Organized labor yesterday made a dramatic U-turn on an advertised nationwide strike as it suspended the planned industrial action over illegal mining. The strike, intended to have started today, was to impress on the government to take immediate and drastic actions to stop the wanton destruction of the environment, including the pollution of water bodies in the name of small-scale mining, and revocation of the legislative instrument, that's the LI, 2462, which allows mining in forest reserves. Moments before the intended strike was called off, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo reaffirmed his commitment to fight against illegal mining by directing the deployment of additional military forces to intensify the ongoing Operation Halt to curb illegal mining activities. So, I mean, that's a big story there. And like I said, I mean, people say they're disappointed. You say you're disappointed. Don't be disappointed. You see, some of these things too, they are distractions. So we'll talk about organized labor didn't strike. Organized labor said they were going on strike. They didn't strike. And then we'll forget that the galamsey is still happening.
It's still happening.
It's still happening. So let's not lose sight of the prize.
Maintain focus.
Maintain focus, maintain heart, and keep fighting for the prize.
The river wardens that were outdoored some time ago, that they were supposed to go and monitor, and we never saw even one day that they were on the water bodies. Anyway, so if he says that he's deployed more people, we'll see. We'll see that.
I'm still on the Daily Graphic
sure.
here, and we're in election season. Let's not forget. Again, distractions. We're in election season. You have less than 2 months to go. Ensuring peace on December 7. Emil Short, Justice Emil Short, is saying, prosecute 2020 election killing perpetrators. And that's on page 13 of the Daily Graphic. And you know how we just said, keep focus. Emil Short is clearly keeping focus. He hasn't forgotten that, in 2020, some interesting things happened. Now, I'll read very briefly. The perpetrators of killings that occurred during the 2020 elections should be prosecuted to ensure peace in the 2024 general election. A former commissioner of the Commission of Human Rights and Administrative Justice, Shraj, Justice Emile Francis Short has stated. Mr. Short, who said this in Accra yesterday, explained that accountability of the perpetrators before the 2024 election would assure the electorate that such incidents would not be repeated during the December 7 polls. And I think he has a point.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
One of the biggest deterrents of grave things like what he's talking about is for people to see that those who did what they did are punished.
Yeah.
And the law has acted on the side of justice.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So you leave these things hanging. There are always people lurking and watching and assessing situations, and they're ready to take advantage when they see an opportunity to. So I agree. I mean, let's not forget that there are those people who are just waiting to destabilize our peace. And I repeat, like I've been saying every time I'm coming here, we will not compromise the peace of the country.
No, we won't.
And we cannot.
We cannot. There's only one Ghana that we have.
Just one Ghana.
If it goes up in flames, then what happens?
Precisely
we don't have any
so.
other place.
Precisely
right?
so.
And I also want to sound a caution to all those who are duty bearers, based on what you just said, that when punishment for wrong is delayed, it empowers and emboldens wrongdoers. Ghanaian Times. 59 more days to go for elections. VIP inspects Accra STEM Academy project. Okay. Small-scale miners plot demo against organized labor. Interesting. Organized labor suspends nationwide galamsey strike. And we have illegal mining menace. Government intensifies war, in quote, on galamsey. Military Small-Scale Miners Association join Operation HALT to fight illegal mining. That's what we have for the Ghanaian Times.
Yeah, and that story about the small-scale miners.
Yeah.
They want to demonstrate against the demonstrators.
Yeah.
Yesterday there was a snippet that was posted on the City FM Instagram page. The small-scale miners, they're shouting, "We won't be intimidated."
Yeah.
They are wearing their red.
Yeah.
And I said, well, this is proof of how when we say that the problem is multi-layered, that's what we mean.
Hydra-headed.
I tell you. So fight against galamsey, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
And it's not easy. Yes, we can understand that you're dealing, those in charge, you're dealing with nuanced situations.
Yeah.
There's the youth, and there's a video that we saw, David, you and I, the other day.
Yeah.
A galamsey saying that if you stop galamsey, he's coming into the streets to rob
to come
people.
and rob. Yeah.
Yeah. And truthfully, for somebody like that, that is his source of income.
Yeah.
But I maintain that our economic woes and the unemployment of our youth, it is not our fault.
No.
The fact that some community leaders, some governance systems,
not done what
and
they
governance
should do.
leaders have failed our youth
Yes,
and not giving them employment doesn't mean that the country, in terms of the people, in terms of our lands, our natural resources, doesn't mean that we should suffer.
Yeah.
Because some people failed us. No. And so we need to take tough decisions.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with nuanced, multi-layered problems like this, the decisions will be tough.
Yeah.
But then that is the mark of whether you deserve the leadership roles or not.
Yeah. Why do we take a strong exception to people using tramadol? Is it not somebody's business? Selling tramadol, is it not somebody's business? Yes. Will you say that if the person if you stop the rampant use of tramadol, you are curtailing somebody's income? Are you mad? Think about it. Yeah. So why are we now arguing that when people are wrecking and wreaking havoc in our water bodies, that we shouldn't stop them because it's their source of livelihood? Yeah.
Here we are.
Anyway, the Chronicle.
The Chronicle. We have this story here as well. I think you just saw it in the Ghanaian Times. Accra STEM Academy project 85% complete. And then we have here as well, Ekufuado partners GAF small-scale miners to protect river bodies and forest reserves. And that is on the back of, telling organized labor that if you don't demonstrate, we're going to do something. We're going to step up. And then don't forget that the Chronicle always has this beautiful scripture from the Bible.
I love the Chronicle for that.
And today's is very interesting. Proverbs 13:20.
Okay.
Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm. And I wonder whose shade that is.
Okay.
But I mean, I think it's a good lesson for everybody.
Charlie, there's something in the Bible for everybody in every situation. All right, the Daily Guide has these headlines here. It says, Nana begins new Galamsey fight. We have organized labor doing NDC's bidding. Okay, and that's MPP there. I wonder which one is their bidding.
I also wonder.
The to fight or not to fight, which one is the bidding? Confusion rocks organized labor, calls of strike. Okay. Michael Quay Jr. leads breast cancer campaign. And you have proven us wrong, Domahini to Baumia. All right, so that's it for the Daily Guide.
Okay, let me go to the BNFT, Business and Financial Times. Africa's future lies in the hands of its youth. And this is coming from, it's a quote from Edward Boateng. Okay. And that's under the youth empowerment tag of things in the newspaper. Do we agree? I mean, we've been saying this over and over again, and especially the fact that we have a very young African population, you know. And I mean, I say that the youth are not the future, they are the present. If you are the majority, you are the present.
Absolutely, 100%.
So that is why I'm saying we shouldn't be leaving a sorry legacy for the youth, including letting them know that this is okay, making them believe that what we are seeing, what we're experiencing is the way things should be. It's a very sorry legacy. Then we have finance. Government unveils green finance taxonomy to drive sustainable development. Then economy, corporate governance key to economic growth and modest debt, say experts. And then there's a big one here. The Bank of Ghana revises year-end inflation targets to 18%. And you can read that on page 3 of the Business and Financial Times. And then under the labor section, Employers Association partners advocates workplace safety plan. I think that's interesting. Workplace safety. And you can read more about that again on page 3 of the Business and Financial Times.
So, the citynewsroom.com has some headlines, and I just want to go through a few of them. UTAG declares nationwide strike. And so the strike begins today from UTAG. And ECG recording 60 million US dollars in revenue losses every month. This is coming from ESEP. Act as citizens, not spectators, Ashigbe urges journalists. And this call is particularly important. Of course, we've recently attributed it to our president saying that, but it's a call that's a universal call, that when you're in a nation that goes for elections, you need to be a citizen and not a spectator, because people chose you.
Absolutely.
Right? So you chose your leaders. So you must hold them accountable. That is part of being a citizen. You know, hold them accountable.
It's part of your civic responsibility.
Absolutely. You know, and organized labor, this is, Ken Ashigbe giving us some hope. Organized labor is not the sole champion in the Galamsey fight. You know, there are other champions.
No, so exactly. So exactly my point. So we are all disappointed. I mean, organized labor, of course, is perhaps the biggest
group.
And a lot of them are state employed.
About 20-something.
Because don't forget, the state is still the biggest employer in Ghana. Not the private sector. You know, so it's huge, and it's a big statement. You know, but before organized labor opened their mouths to say we're striking, there are groups that are already making noise against Galamsey. The youth are upset about it. Environmentalists are upset about it. Health workers are upset about it. The media, we've been upset about it for donkey years. You know, so it's not just organized labor. And perhaps because of who they are and their numbers, it was heavily publicized, you know, which was great. But I say that even their saying that they would strike was a step in a direction that has changed the conversation about Galamsey. So let's not be disappointed. I repeat, let's just keep fighting. Don't be distracted.
I love that.
Keep pushing.
Right.
Keep fighting. Keep pushing. Keep fighting. And we're not fighting in the sense that let's carry weapons and go onto the street. No. We're fighting. We won't stop talking about it. We won't stop pointing out the grave effects of Galamsey. We won't stop exposing the errors.
Yeah, exactly.
And we won't stop going to the spaces to let people see what
the
it
reality
really
of what
is.
is there. Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
So we use the tools and the
have.
voices and the platforms that we
it.
have to keep making noise about it.
Super. And don't forget that the Catholic Archdiocese of Accra, in collaboration with the Conference of Major Superiors of Religious in Ghana, and the Catholic lay faithful and professionals are embarking on their environmental prayer protest walk against Galamsey tomorrow,
There we go.
10 a.m. from the Holy Spirit Cathedral to Christ the King. It's happening.
There'll be a lot of them.
I'm joining them.
There'll be a lot of them. There's a group of artists that will be protesting in the next couple of days. We're doing a performance protest.
Wow.
With Galamsey inspired characters.
Okay.
And so, you know, people are doing things.
Yeah.
And it's these pockets of things that will tell the story. So let's not be degassed at all. At all. Let's not.
Thank you very much, Appy. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Well, sports is next.